Getting chicken dinner is only a step away once you've made it to the final circle. Learn about these 4 tips to boost your chances of getting chicken dinner. The final circle can broadly be split into 2 types, urban and rural. The final circle is much more likely to end up in a rural area, but whatever the final circle ends up being, there is one thing they all share in common. That is, that higher ground has an advantage. Thus, we recommend players to occupy the highest points within the play zone ahead of time. But if the high ground has already been occupied by enemy players, then we recommend taking cover with boulders and trees. Unable to find suitable cover and get discovered by an enemy, you can hide behind a vehicle and use it as makeshift cover. It's important to know that crouching behind a wheel is the safest spot of a vehicle. Other parts of vehicles may leave you exposed if an enemy can shoot at you through the gap underneath when they lay prone. It's even more complex when the final circle is in an urban area. There may be many buildings packed closely together, which gives players a lot of places to hide and take cover. It's best to take cover on a higher floor of a building. If enemies have already occupied the higher floors, you can still find other lower buildings or houses to take refuge. Also, when there's a lot of cover, the chances of running into an ambush are much higher. In this kind of environment, multiple teams might even be hiding in the same building. Thus, before players choose a place to take cover, they should look at the map and evaluate the situation before coming to a decision. Find a place with few enemies to hide in. In urban areas, enemies can easily hide on the upper floors of buildings. Thus, you should closely observe the windows for a higher chance of finding an enemy. In rural areas like mountains, the highest places are where enemies are most likely to be. Following that would be near boulders and trees. It's important to be careful around bushes and tall grass. Players with ghillie suits love hiding in there. The best time to enter the final circle is to be the first or last to do so. The advantage of entering the final circle right away is that you get first pick on taking a position, but a lot of players are often thinking the same thing, so it's easy to get tangled in battle. So rushing to be first to the final circle is more suitable when it's at a rural area. Use a vehicle to quickly move to the next play zone while others are still fighting. Then lie in wait. Entering last means moving with the blue zone as it closes in to enter the final circle. With this kind of strategy, you'll be able to avoid a lot of unnecessary engagements, and it's quite safe. On the flip side, it's also easier to get ambushed by those lying in wait. This kind of strategy is better suited for urban areas. When the blue zone closes in, stay near the edge and move with it. This is a good way to avoid ambushes. Knowing when to heal is key to survival. During combat, when enemies are far away and you have access to cover, healing is not a bad move. But if enemies are closer, then it's best to create some distance and find cover first. Or you can directly return fire to make them back off. Then, heal when it's safe. Your choice of healing item also makes a big difference. The pace of battle in the final circle is very quick, so bandages and energy drinks are good choices as they don't take much time to use. The trade-off is that they only heal a smaller amount each time. Lastly, it's best to maintain a good amount of energy in the final circle. On the one hand, it lets players run faster. The other is that when you take damage, you'll automatically start recovering some health over time. This greatly increases your survival rate.